Three former New Mexico State men's basketball players have been charged with multiple felony crimes, all stemming from that hazing and sexual assault scandal that shook the college basketball world last February. Thank you for choosing KTSM 9 News at 6. I'm Andy Morgan.
And I'm Natasha Paloma. Those felony charges handed down today by the New Mexico AG's office. Let's break them down for you. Now, these all stemming from incidents involving 4 victims allegedly taking place between August and November of 2022. Former players Deshandre Washington and Dr. Bradley each charged with 13 felonies, including second-degree criminal sexual penetration, a 4th-degree criminal sexual contact, and false imprisonment. Kim Aiken Jr., meanwhile, charged with 11 felonies, including second-degree criminal sexual penetration, also imprisonment, and 4th-degree criminal sexual contact.
And this is the first time anyone associated with New Mexico State men's basketball has been charged with a crime following 2 major scandals that rocked the program within the last year. KTSM 9 Sports Director Colin Deaver has been following this story for months. He joins us now.
Yeah, and Colin, that long list of charges, this is coming after a months-long investigation by the AG's office. So it's very serious here, but can you explain how serious these charges are?
Yeah, I mean, simply put, if convicted, the maximum sentence for Bradley and Washington, 27 years of jail time. It's 24 years for Aiken. A second-degree criminal sexual penetration conviction also would require all of them to register as sex offenders. It's a total of 37 felony charges based on allegations from 4 different victims that Aiken, Bradley, and Washington allegedly held them down against their will while they violated them, sometimes forcibly restraining victims while, quote, violently grabbing their genital area. Now, the indictment stemmed from incidents that allegedly took place between August and November of 2022. 4 victims were identified by the Attorney General. Torres said there could be more, but these were charges the AG's office felt comfortable moving forward with. Based on lawsuits and Title IX reports obtained by KTSM, we know of at least 6 victims. The AG investigation looked into the same complaints made in an NMSU Title IX sexual misconduct report, as well as 2 separate lawsuit filings by multiple former teammates of Washington, Bradley, and Aiken. The trio were found responsible last week by NMSU of 3 Title IX violations. NMSU settled a lawsuit with former players Deuce Benjamin and Shakiru Odunewu for $8 million in June, stemming from these allegations. A second lawsuit was filed by 3 separate former players earlier this week. Now, lawsuits and Title IX reports are one thing, criminal charges are another entirely. And Torres told KTSM today that he believes that the victims and witnesses will take the stand to testify against their alleged perpetrators to further fight for justice if the case goes to trial.
We anticipate that their testimony will be a critical component of the case that we intend to present to the jury. And you know, I think right now each of them has expressed a willingness and a commitment to see this through, to make sure that their perpetrators are held to account and that others understand how serious these allegations are.
Aiken, Bradley, and Washington will not be extradited back to Las Cruces. They will be arraigned in Doña Ana County on November 22nd. Torres said that now the AG's office is conducting a review of New Mexico State to ensure that best practices were followed by NMSU's administration. At this time, he doesn't expect more charges to be filed from that, but said they can change and adjust charges at any time if they need to. Now, Aiken and Washington are not playing college basketball this year, but Bradley, here in the middle, was listed as a member of the Nicholls State University team until today when the indictment was filed. A university spokesperson told KTSM that Bradley is now no longer a member of the team. The 3 players have not responded to requests for comment. NMSU chose not to comment on the situation. We will have more on the story at 10 on KTSM. Andy, Natasha.
Colin, thank you very much. And as you just heard from Colin, the Attorney General also discussing their plan to review NMSU's response to these scandals over the last year. That review will include former coaches and current athletic director Mario Mocha. Mocha was not part of any litigation fallout until earlier this week when he was named as a defendant in the second lawsuit filed by former NMSU players and student staff members who alleged guns were constantly present in the locker room while everyone else involved with NMSU men's basketball program from last year's team is no longer with the school. Mocha was given a 5-year contract extension back in April. KTSM asked Jolene Youngers, the attorney who has filed both of those lawsuits, why Mocha's name is in this lawsuit but not the previous one.
We learned more from the players and student staff members that are plaintiffs bringing this new lawsuit. And so now we have a better idea of who was on notice that there were problems and when, who could have stepped in and exercised control and leadership. And we believe that the athletic director is one of the persons who could have and should have heard more and done more.
Mocha and the university declined comment on the new lawsuit. His salary is currently being paid for by the Aggie Athletic Club, not by state funding, pending the conclusion of the Attorney General's review. And for more information on this story, make sure you're heading on over to KTSM.com. We have you covered there as well.